Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Worth, and welcome to AP Biology at Back to School Night 2021. A little bit about me. I have my bachelor's degree in biochemistry from UCLA and a master's degree in biological sciences from Clemson University. And AP Biology is hands down my favorite class to teach. And before we go on, I want to make sure I acknowledge the TAM High Foundation. So many of the labs and activities that we do in the science department would not be possible without their support. So I want to send a big thank you to the TAM High Foundation. Right, a little bit more about me. I just finished my 32nd year teaching, 25 of those teaching AP Bio. In addition to AP Bio for 6 years, I was adjunct at College of Marin in the life science department and would occasionally pick up a biology class or microbiology class if they needed someone to do that. In 2003, I was invited to the White House and received the Presidential Award for Excellence in Science Teaching. I've been a faculty consultant to the College Board for about 20 years. That means they send me places to train new and experienced biology teachers. I've been very fortunate in that they've sent me not only all over the country, but all over the world. I've been to Dubai, Shanghai, Brazil, and I've got to meet some really fantastic teachers and some really interesting people. I've been a reader and a table leader for the scoring of the free response questions on the AP Bio exam. So I have a really good idea of what students need to do on the free response questions to be successful on the test. I have actually written items for the AP Bio class, but of course, because of the non-disclosure agreements, I could never disclose that to any of you. And on a personal note, I am married to Mr. Baugh, who some of your students may have for AP English. He teaches upstairs for me. We didn't meet at TAM. We met when we were both teaching in Los Angeles, and we were in the same teacher credential program. He grew up in Marin, and in 1993 convinced me that we should move up here, and we've never looked back, and I'm glad we did. And we have two daughters who go to Terra Linda High School, who are 14 and 16 years old. I've also written a couple publications, an article about resources for teaching evolution. I also was on a stem cell ethics advisory committee a few years back, and we wrote a paper about ethics of stem cell research. And I'm very excited that in February of next year, the new version of Barron's AP Biology Review book, which I have completely redone and rewritten, my first book, is coming out. I just submitted the final manuscript, the final edits to the manuscript last week. A little bit of information about the course. Everything you need to know about what we're doing in class is on my website, worthapsi.weebly.com. And that web address is on my Canvas homepage. On my website, you're going to find what the homework assignments are, handouts, exam dates. Any handout I have an electronic version of is going to be on there, and homework is posted and exam dates as well. The textbook we use is Campbell's Biology in Focus. Students can leave that textbook at home. We're fortunate to have enough that I have an extra class set in the classroom, so kids don't need to drag that heavy book back and forth every day. Now, some kids find it useful to read more than one explanation for a concept. So there's a really good free online textbook available at OpenStax. This is a project out of Rice University. A bunch of professors got together, said textbooks cost so much, it costs so much. We're going to make a bunch of free online textbooks that anybody can access. And there is one for AP Biology on that site. So if a student leaves their book in their locker, they can always go to OpenStax at the link that is on this video. Okay. My main goal in this class is to get your students to love biology if they already don't. My second goal is to prepare them for the AP Biology exam, which is usually the second Monday in May. I think they may have moved it to second Wednesday this year. There's two parts. The first part is 90 minutes long. Excuse me, to complete 60 multiple choice questions. There's no guessing penalty, so students should absolutely not leave anything blank on that test. I tell them worst case scenario, they get down to the final minute and they have 5 questions they haven't answered. pick your favorite letter and fill it in for all 5. Maybe you'll get lucky. Then they have a short break and they have 90 minutes to do 6 free response questions, 2 longer ones, which count more points, and 4 shorter ones, which count fewer points. And the quizzes and unit exams in my class will always include multiple choice questions on the quizzes and exams and free response questions on the unit exams, so your students can get used to addressing both types of questions and the style of questioning used on the test. There are 8 instructional units in the AP Biology course. We are just wrapping up Unit 1, Chemistry of Life, Biochemistry. In fact, your student has probably told you they have our first unit exam tomorrow morning. When we come back on Monday, we're going to dive into cell structure and function, parts of the cell, but really focusing more on the cell membrane and how things cross the cell membrane and transport across cells. Then we'll go into Unit 3, cell energetics, enzymes, photosynthesis, cell respiration. This 3rd unit tends to be one of the more challenging ones. So when we hit cell energetics, your students might need a little bit more encouragement than they usually do. Then we go to cell communication and the cell cycle. One of my favorite units, of course, is heredity. I just love genetics. And then gene expression and regulation, which I also think is super interesting. It's also challenging for some students. So I tell my students to order the units. It's kind of like those treadmill programs where there's 2 hills. Cellular energetics is the top of the first hill, and gene expression and regulation is the top of the second hill. Then we'll do evolution and natural selection, and then finally ecology. Generally, my goal is to try to cover the content in all 8 units before spring break, so that when we come back from spring break, we can just focus on reviewing for the test. Okay, whoops. Here we go. Okay, grading policies. 60% of your students' grade in my class will be based on summative assessments, quizzes, and exams. 40% will be formative. That means labs, homework, in-class activities. And grades will be updated weekly in Synergy. And Synergy is brand new to the TAM district this year, so I appreciate your patience as we work out the kinks in the system. There were some little hiccups the first week or so in school, but I think they're getting those all worked out now. Okay. Class policies, your kids are in AP. They're all great kids. I really love the kids in my AP classes this year. Super nice kids. Just respect everyone and everything in this school. Don't abuse the equipment. And more importantly, don't make fun of other kids in the class. That's just not right. And I will not stand for it. Students are here to learn. Effort is required. This is an advanced placement class, which is much more challenging than an honors class because we're using a college level textbook. Students, of course, are expected to do their own work, okay? And they may not interfere with anybody's right to do 1, 2, and 3. I do let kids retake any quiz to raise their score on that quiz to a 70% before the unit exam on that material. Missed work, of course, is the student's responsibility, and students should contact me as soon as they return to school so we can get them caught up to speed and arrange makeup work for them. Some other support available for students. Again, the course website is probably your #1 resource to see what's going on in class and download the handouts. I'm always available by email at mworth@tamdistrict.org. And please tell your students to utilize tutorial. Not enough kids come visit me during tutorial. I would love to have just a big old party in there during tutorial of kids wanting to talk about biology. And finally, before we close this evening, I just want to give one more thank you to the TAM High Foundation for their support. You can see there's a big long list, and this is just a partial list. This probably doesn't even cover 20% of the stuff that the TAM High Foundation has provided to our science department. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you to the TAM High Foundation, and have a great evening, everyone. Bye.